going wide open, hoping for a little taste of that unknown. Living in a fast car, living in a fast car days.
All right, welcome back to another edition of Checkers, Wreckers, and What the Heckers. My name is Chad Beard, and I'm a country music artist, content creator, and NASCAR super fan, joined as always by my illustrious co-host. Let me introduce them to you. Let me get my notes here.
You
don't know who we are by now.
This is out of this.
Why do you need notes?
I had them out of order. That never happens. All right, here we go. Straight out of Ohio, the VIP wrangler for the Haas factory team, the follicle freak of nature, the man, the myth, the main. Rick Kojan is in the house.
Love it. Thank you. Right to the point. Thank you for continuing to recognize the effort that I put in back there.
Absolutely.
Me and Josh Williams, he actually said something to me in Daytona. He's like, what do you got going on back there? I'm like, the same goddamn thing you do, dude. He said something.
Oh, Jesus. All right. 17 years as the fastest man in North Carolina. And now the only thing quicker than his Wi-Fi fixes are the hearts he breaks in the garage. The jury is in, and he's guilty of being too damn sexy. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris, Supreme Court Justice.
That's pretty good right there. Bravo, my guy. Bravo. Man. That is stellar right there.
Welcome back, fellas. How we doing?
Well, really I didn't have the weekend Ricky had. I didn't go to Daytona, but good to see everybody.
You ever coming back to work? You do know there's 10 races left in the goddamn season. You
I'm
coming back or no?
I'm going to be in Darlington, and I'm going to run the whole month of October. All right. I'm your guy.
I'm looking forward to seeing you again, having some dinner, and having some more of our old fashions.
That's right. That's how we roll. Old fashioned time it is.
Well, speaking of Darlington, we've got a guest today who is from the Darlington area, and we're going to get into that in just 1 second. But I do want to remind everybody that today's guest episode is being brought to you by the Chord Buddy. The Chord Buddy. How do you spell that, Rick?
CHORD, not CORD, like my dumbass first thought.
The Chord Buddy. If you've ever wanted to play guitar, you can now do it on day one with a super easy system. It clamps right over your guitar. The color corded tabs allow you to play hundreds of your favorite songs on day one. Also, when you get a Chord Buddy, every Chord Buddy comes with a songbook that's going to show you how to play it. And as you get better, those tabs, they pop off. Your fingers go where the tab was, and now you're playing real chords. You're learning to play guitar in an easy way, sets you up for success every time. Go check them out at chordbuddy.com for their full line of products. They got the Chord Buddy for the guitar. They got the Uke Buddy. They have their own line of guitars. So check them out there, chordbuddy.com. That's CHORD buddy.com. Tell them we sent you here at Checkers, Wreckers, and
who knows? Who knows? You might get good enough to play with our guests in the background. You never know.
Well, maybe.
You never know.
I want to know if Live Fast, Die Pretty's in the damn songbook. What's up? Come
All
on,
right.
Supreme Court of Justice.
Here we go.
You were ready
yes,
for that.
Yes, sir.
Straight out of Florence, South Carolina. She's got more followers than a local Waffle House has drunks at 3 a.m. She blew up on TikTok with 340,000 plus fans, sang with Keith Urban, and now signed her name on a Sony Nashville deal, but still hasn't forgot to raise hell on a small town Friday night. Country music's Get Ready With Me Queen. Hey, friends, it's Kayley Green.
Yeah!
Welcome.
Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
gosh, the best intro. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It looks like things have been going really well. I've been keeping up with your stuff via Instagram. Rick doesn't have Instagram. He doesn't know how to work it. But
now's not the time to start taking shots at me. At least I know her music. Relax.
That's right. That's all
Rick.
that matters.
Rick did say he hit the gym today and he put on a Kayley Green playlist and rocked out to all your songs.
Sorry.
while he was getting his pump on.
I mean, that's like the best compliment ever.
Thank you.
Get that, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into some of that. But you are from Florence, South Carolina, so just outside of Darlington, and
Yeah, that's right.
we are headed to Darlington this weekend with NASCAR. All three of us will be in Darlington this weekend for this race, which is the first time that's happened in a while. But so if we're headed down to that area, what are some things we should check out, Kayley?
She's coming up empty.
This is
Chad.
it. This is your hometown.
Chad,
Come on
she's coming
now.
up empty.
Okay,
This is
so
tough.
Darlington's like 30 minutes from my hometown. But either way, there's not like a whole lot in either place. Florence is kind of cool. There's some like local bars that are pretty cool. There's
You got a name?
Apple Annie's is one of
Apple
my
Annie's been there.
Yeah, Bird's Nest is like same
Ooh,
owner.
Bird's
It's
Nest.
one of my
Okay.
favorites. Yeah, I like
Write
both
that
of those a
down.
lot. Redbone Alley is always like a Florence classic for sure.
Redbone, been there.
Um, there's a place in Darlington, actually. I hope it's still
I saw a video of a place the other day that was like a whole like NASCAR theme like restaurant and bar in Darlington.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember. It
surprised.
popped up. It popped up on maybe TikTok when I was watching Kaylee Green's Get Ready With Me videos, and I was like, I meant to save it, but yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but it looked really cool based on the videos.
And it's
But,
in Darlington?
yeah, it was in Darlington.
there's
Christy,
a
I didn't know that.
there's a place called the Grand Ole Post Office in Darlington, but it's like a venue. So I've played there before, and they'll have like small artists or small like wedding receptions and stuff in there. So sometimes there's cool events there, but I don't think that they're open like without events.
Gotcha.
There's a couple cool places.
All right, so let's talk. Let's talk. You grew up in Florence, and then you decided to make the move to Nashville to go to Belmont, right?
Yes, yeah, I
So
did.
what was that like?
I've played gigs my whole life. As soon as I could get on a microphone, I was on it. I was playing a gig in maybe seventh grade. And a lady came up to me and was like, "You should look at Belmont. My nephew goes there for music." And I had no idea that you could go to college for music at that point. And so I looked into it when I got home, and that was it. That I knew I was going to Nashville. I knew I was going to go to Belmont. I didn't audition for other schools. I didn't apply to other schools. Probably should have. Scholarship wise, would have like helped my bank account a little bit. But yeah, I was very one track minded. My parents knew from a very young age that I wanted to pursue some sort of career in the entertainment industry for sure. So yeah, it was not a shock to anyone in my family.
So what was your major at Belmont? What were you studying?
I was a commercial voice student, so I have a degree
shit.
in music. Yeah, which was
That's
pretty
cool.
fun. If this doesn't work out, I have really nothing to fall back on. But it's looking pretty good right now.
Well, there's always the option if the music thing doesn't work out to start a podcast. That's
Yeah,
that's what's going for me.
I'll start
Perfect.
like saving for equipment.
Well, you probably already have. I already had most everything.
Yeah, most of the stuff he probably already owned.
Yeah, that's true. So Kaylee and I met probably not long after, because I think you were still at Belmont when we first met. So I moved to Nashville in 2013, I
I did
think.
too.
Yeah.
August 2013.
Yeah, I moved in November, so just after Thanksgiving. And so we were playing the same circuit. And at that time, Nashville was not the Nashville of today, which is essentially like a small Vegas. Nashville, there were probably 10 bars maybe at that point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
that
all
was
had
amazing.
one stage, except Tootsie's had a back room at that point.
Yep.
And then they opened the
Rippy's.
third floor later.
Yeah, Rippy's had the side room.
Rippy's had the side room. That was true. Because my first gig in Nashville was Rippy's side room. That was
Sounds about right.
a lot of fun. But so we played initially for the Tootsie circuit. And so we would play Tootsie's, Rippy's, and Honky Tonk Central, which was new at that time.
Yeah.
Like it had not been open long at all. But And in that world, especially at that time, I think maybe it's different now, but they would essentially, if you were a guy singer, you kind of had the bands, and then they would put a girl with you. And so there were lots of times where Kayley got put on the same gig as me, which was a lot of fun because she is a phenomenal singer, one of the absolute best singers that you will ever hear. So,
Thank you.
anyways, we spent a long time playing music together and kind of parallel to each other. And we've written some songs together, which I'm still waiting for her to record now that she has a record deal. But it's so funny because so we wrote a song together 3 years ago now, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. And so when we would write, we would do like a shared note on the iPhone. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you can collaborate with somebody. Well, anyways, you can like collaborate with somebody on a note, and then anytime the other person makes changes to it, it'll like pop up a notification. Yeah. And so I would know Kayley was singing a gig because the notification would pop up because she used to play that song to give her band a break.
Yeah. We wrote this during the pandemic. So this was 2020 that we wrote the song. It was 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. Because you had moved back home for a little bit.
Yep. And I think I was staying at CJ's house.
Yeah. So you were coming back and forth to Nashville to ride at that point.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, wow, it's been 5 years.
You know, my family still asks me to play that every time I play gigs in South Carolina. That's the one song that they want to hear.
I love that. So let's tell them about this song. So
yeah,
y'all two gonna sing it tonight?
What is it?
What?
Tell
What
us
you
about
gonna
it.
do?
So the song is called The Next One.
Okay.
And we wrote it because my granddad, back in the day, could, throw back some beers. And he doesn't drink anymore. He hasn't drank my whole life, but he would tell me that whenever he was incredibly hungover, he would just pray to God and just be like, Lord, please, like, I'm so sick. If you just help me get through this hangover, I promise I'll take care of the next one.
So we ended up writing a song about that. And it was like, it's so catchy and so funny. And
give us the first 3 bars.
Very, very country. I don't have a guitar in here. I would.
Oh, gotcha.
All my guitars are
on the spot
upstairs.
Yeah, maybe next time we could get a guitar in there with the chord buddy, but that's just a suggestion, not a criticism.
Circle.
Yeah,
not a criticism because he calls them criticisms. That was just a suggestion.
No, I love it. But so obviously Kayley has been in town for what, 12 years now, I guess. Yeah. Wow. And so she did the Broadway thing for a while. And then this new app came along, Ricky, called TikTok.
And
yeah.
I felt that one slip in my side. Go ahead.
So anyways, Kayley started posting these videos of her like getting ready for her shows. And she always starts them out kind of the same way. How do they go, Kayley?
I usually was like, hey, I'm Kayley. I'm a singer in Nashville, Tennessee. I have a gig. Normally I was running really late too. So I think the suspense, kept people around, but I would always say, I have a gig today. Help me get ready or whatever, And so I would always say hi friends too.
Yes. So that's where she'd be like, hi friends. And then like do her thing. And so, she would have people like help pick out her outfits for her shows. And she went crazy viral and gained lots of followers really fast. And then she started getting invites to do lots of things like you did a Whiskey Jam collaboration, right?
Yeah, I played the outdoor stage at Whiskey Jam, which was really fun.
And if somebody doesn't know what Whiskey Jam is, Whiskey Jam, it started as a full band writers round back in the day and is now the biggest thing probably out of Nashville. Like if you come to Nashville, it's one of those things that you got to see. Yeah. And it used to be at Losers in Midtown, and now they've moved it to Dierks Bentley's downtown on the second
Losers,
floor.
the one with the big boot, with Losers on the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it grew into like a huge thing, and everybody has played it. It's like the thing you have to do if you're a songwriter, you're an artist. I
Yeah.
mean, and still guys play it. I mean, Luke Combs has played it, Chris Stapleton's played it, Aaron Moore's played. I mean, you name it, they probably played it. Morgan Wallen shot his whiskey glasses video during a whiskey jam.
That's
Oh,
not the place where he was throwing the chairs off the roof, is it?
No, that's Eric Church.
You know, he also kicked whiskey glasses at Kid Rocks and got kicked out for that too years ago. Everybody forgets about that one, but every time we sing whiskey glasses downtown, all I can think is, I'm gonna kick some whiskey glasses.
So that also led to an invitation to play Bridgestone Arena, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that. How did that go down?
That was the craziest thing of my life. I was really doing this influencer thing. I had just moved back post pandemic. I wanted to do the music thing, but if you don't know, recording music is incredibly expensive in Nashville, and I didn't have the money for it, and I also didn't believe in my songs enough. If I don't believe in them, how do I expect anyone else to believe in them? So I really was kind of pushing this influencer thing. I wanted to make the money to then put into music and be able to like write more, have more time off of Broadway. Anyway, I was releasing a website and a merch line and all of this stuff, just trying to really dive into that head first. And the day after I released my merch line and launched my website, I got a call from Keith Urban's management team. And I don't know why I never thought it was like a scam, but I just fully believed it from the beginning. But she was like, "Hey, this is so and so. I work for Keith Urban, and he is playing at the Bridgestone Arena on Friday, which was 2 days away from that day. And
Oh, wow.
are you going to be in town?" And I was not. I was supposed to be in New York with my mom, but I was like, "Yep, I'll be there." And so we got off the phone, and I had no idea what had just happened. She told me that he wanted me to sing with him. He had been like wanting to give back to somebody that was hustling it out in the bars because that's how he came up. And he found me and really wanted to give me a shot. And so I called my mom sobbing. My mom thought someone had died because I was crying. I was like, "We have to change our flight. You have to change your flight from New York to Nashville." And she's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I told them that I got a call from Keith Urban's team and I was going to be singing with him at the Bridgestone. So it was 2 days in advance. I called, or the next day, the day before the show, Keith Urban called me. So at this point, I still don't know what I'm singing with him. But he calls me and he's like, "I would love for you to sing We Were Us," which I had sang in my ensemble at Belmont. So I was pumped about that. I knew that one. But he said, "I would also love for you to sing something that you love." And immediately, the first thing that I could think of is Martina McBride. She's always been like my shining star vocally. And he said, "Yeah, let's do Independence Day." And so the next day, I went to sound check. Luke Combs was the other guest that day. So I watched Keith Urban and Luke Combs sound check. And then I sound checked with Keith Urban. And then that night I played, and it changed my life overnight.
Jeez. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
What a hell of a story.
Yeah. And just so like probably the one thing from you thinking that it was a scam, right, is as big as Nashville is.
No, she said she didn't think it was a scam.
No, that's
right?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Probably the reason that she did not, the one reason she did not is for as big as Nashville is, it's also like a small town. Like the music community is a super small community. So like everybody knows everybody or is kind of, 1 degree removed
like
from somebody. Yeah, very similar to racing. So I mean it's not uncommon to walk into a place and there be a country music superstar there, or like Keith Urban goes to shop at Whole Foods like just like it's nothing. And I remember walking into Walmart at 100 Oaks probably 2013 or 2014. And like John Prine is walking out of Walmart pushing his buggy. And I'm like, oh my God, it's John Prine. So it's just for as big as it is, it's also like a small town, super tight community.
Mm-hmm.
So, and something really cool to be a part of. So you play that show with Keith Urban. And what kind of
Two
happens
days
with your,
notice.
yeah. So what kind of happens with your career after that?
Um, well, because it was a Nashville show, everyone in the industry was invited. So for the next 30 days, I would joke and tell people, I actually it was like probably 3 months. I think I had like permanent coffee shakes. I was going to coffee meetings with everybody in town. I met with every publisher, every label, like just meeting
Wow.
them. And, I at this point didn't have, they don't really sign artists to develop them anymore. They want to sign an artist that's already got a little bit of a following, already got like a brand, a thing. So like everybody was like, I don't think you're like ready yet, but we want to keep in touch. But the very first meeting I had after Keith Urban was with Sony, the CEO. She's now the CEO at Sony. Her name's Taylor Sutherland.
Yes.
But
Yes, it is.
she was the first. She got a hold of me, and I met with her and another guy at Sony, and we had coffee, and we kept in touch. And um, so the label thing was kind of working, but I knew that that was like a little bit far away. But while we were at the concert, there was a guy named Ross Copperman sitting behind me because I was in the industry section when Tyler Hubbard got off stage, he sat 3 rows ahead of me, like it was just, I was with everyone in Nashville. So this guy was behind me, was like, holy cow, who are you? What can I do? Can I help you? Can I help connect you? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Mind you, if you look up this guy, I mean, he is so incredibly accomplished. I mean, he's got so many number ones between producing and songwriting. He's incredible. Like I knew who he was, but he didn't know who I was, but I didn't tell him I knew who he was either. Anyway, we connected and he was kind of talking to me and we would send songs back and forth because I hadn't written enough at this point to like have songs that were strong enough. So he would send me songs, like songs that Kelsey Ballerini didn't cut. He would send me and be like, do you want to put your voice on this? Or, he sent me several. And then eventually he was like, hey, do you like want a publishing deal so you can spend more time on music? And I was like, yeah, I would love a publishing deal. So I ended up signing a publishing deal it was like a joint venture publishing deal with him, Ross Copperman, and Sony Publishing. Maybe, I guess, they told me, I sang with Keith in October. They offered it to me in December, and I think it was signed by March. And then right after I started working through the publishing deal, the label told me that they were also ready to sign me. So I was working through 2 deals at once, and it's a very slow process, but I think within 7 or 8 months, I went from nothing in the music industry to signed publishing deal, signed record deal.
That's fucking awesome right there.
It's crazy.
Which sounds like overnight success, right? But in Nashville, they say it's a 10-year town. So you have to be there, you have to struggle, you have to do the thing for 10 years before you ever get any real traction, recognition, things like that.
It was right at 10 years for me too.
Also, just so you know, so Rick is about to retire from Sony. He
see in the background.
Yeah, so
36 years. I was on the consumer electronics side, but we had we had a few little interactions with Sony Music in general, and I knew they branched off and made a Sony Nashville. So I hope they treat you well. They're a good company.
They've been great.
So you sign these publishing deals and a record deal. And let's just talk about a record deal a little bit. You were talking about the difference in kind of how they do things now and how things used to be. So if you were an artist, say in the 90s, typically what would happen you would be signed to a developmental deal, which essentially meant they would bring you in, they would teach you how to do everything, right? They would teach you stage performance, they would get you vocal lessons, they would make sure that you would be developed from baby to full-grown artist before they launched you. Now essentially what record deals do is they are essentially like a bank that buys small businesses. So when you sign a record deal, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because you've signed one and I have not. But I did go through this process for, like you said, it takes a really long time. So we spent almost a year working on this deal that fell through in the end for me, which happens a lot. Um, but um, so essentially what happens is they offer you um, this certain amount of money, but it's not your money. So what happens is it's essentially a loan. So they say, we're going to sign you to this. And so when you record your music, when you release your music, when you start to tour, and most deals these days, and I don't know if yours is, you can let us know, but most deals these days are 360 deals, which means they own your stuff as an artist. So they own all your masters, they own all your publishing, and they own a percentage of your merch, your touring, any of those things. Which is also much different than the 90s were, because essentially when you were signed in the 90s, you were signed as an artist and they owned your masters and they made their money off radio plays. Um, but essentially what happens is you get this money or you get this draw and you can withdraw from that to make your record or to, they give you a touring advance, things like that. But then once your music comes out, once it's released, before you actually make any money off of
Payback
that,
draw.
you have to pay that drawback. So
Yeah,
essentially
it's like a car
it's a loan.
dealership. Yeah.
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 So,
Interesting.
so yeah, if for people who just think you sign a record deal and they write you a big fat $1 million check and you're a millionaire and life is easy, there's stories and stories of people who have number one songs on the radio and can't pay their rent. There, you go on these radio tours and you go out and you're having to play all these free shows all across the country. You're waking up at 3, 4 in the morning and going to these radio stations and you'll
And
do
you're
2 or 3
spending
a day.
money out of your draw at that point, right?
Right. Everybody is getting paid but you. So
Right.
you still have to pay your band, you have to pay your management, you have to pay your label, you have to pay all these people.
Interesting.
And so that's kind of how a record deal works, at least in my experience. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Ken?
Yeah, for sure. But it's also like it's a totally different ball game now because back in the day they could make a superstar. And now like with social media, the power is like not really in the labels anymore. Yeah, they have a lot more connections than I do. Um, but yeah, with TikTok, anybody could do it. So like it's like a totally different, it's the Wild West in the music industry right now for sure.
Well, and you had, the digital revolution
Yeah.
of back in the day of the lime wire and all these things. Like when all that happened, the Napster, for the first time, consumers controlled what they heard.
Hmm.
Before, your options were whatever radio told you wanted to
Decided
hear.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That
if
makes
you were
sense.
listening to country radio,
Yeah, they had the
all you're
power.
going to hear was country artists. You were listening to rock, you just hear rock artists. Well, now I mean, I bet on your gym playlist there, Ricky, you have Kaylee Green, and then you might have Metallica, or you might have,
Oh, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely
So
right.
I think Ricky goes with a little sticks too.
That is on the Grand Illusion. I love the beginning of Grand Illusion. You know me so well, Justice.
these guys.
Come on.
So, but you sign your deal and you start releasing music. So tell us about that. Tell us about some of this music you put out.
Yeah, I've put out 7 songs now. So we recorded 7 songs last January. And I literally just released the last one of them a couple weeks ago. So it's been even that has been a very slow process. But I'm so proud of them. They were like the first group of songs that I like really believed in, really loved. It was a little bit of everything. I've been playing other people's music my whole life, and I like playing other people's music, and I like think I'm pretty decent at a bunch of different genres. So it's been difficult to like kind of figure out who I am. So this group of songs was definitely like a bunch of like different things to see kind of what worked and what felt the most authentic and um so yeah, now I think that we're gonna go back into the studio and kind of take what we've learned and take what I've learned and who I am now versus who I was when I wrote them, who I was when I recorded them, and kind of rebrand, regroup, re-record, and hopefully come out with an EP, I think. But everything is working off of singles right now. Like everyone is just releasing singles. Like people don't have the attention spans to really listen to albums or EPs unless they're like die-hard Morgan Wallen fans, in which case they listen to 70,000 songs at one time. But
Right. You get 38 bit tempo songs and you just listen to them all on repeat.
yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, so we're kind of still digging in for sure, but it's been exciting.
So when you do your sets now locally, like is that for a couple hours? You have like 14 songs set, or how's that work?
I still do Broadway.
Mhm.
So I still play every Saturday at Whiskey Row, which is honestly, thanks to social media, become almost like a Vegas residency type situation where I'm playing and they're coming to Nashville anyway. They just write me into the itinerary. So it's been like a blessing for sure. But those are 4 hour shifts. Like
Holy
downbeat is 2:30. We are done at 6:30. So luckily everybody except my drummer in my band sings. So we toss it around a lot. I'm not singing for 4 hours straight, but it's a different game now. Like I do get to put my songs in there. I do get to sing my own stuff, and the shifts are a little more geared towards me. Whereas when I moved to Nashville, like Chad was saying, I was the girl singer on the gig. I would sing a couple songs and run the tip bucket, and it sucked. Um,
Mhm.
but it's fun now. Like it's a good time.
Which does suck because she is a much, much better singer than me. So no, that's true 100%. And it's perfectly okay. And again, no, like people would come and like it was almost like they had to wait for her. And it was like, can she come back? Is she done running the tip jug now? Can she come back and sing again? And I'm like 100% because if we're being honest, I just want to listen to her. Like my shows with her were so fun. And
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
did sing a lot on your shifts for sure. There were some people I sang like 7 songs a night, but I did sing a lot with you for sure.
yeah,
So
but also I was like, never was it like, at least I hope not. I didn't think so, but like, it was never like an ego thing for me where it's like, this
No,
is
no, no,
my
no.
show. Like, it was
Yeah,
more like, this is our show. Let's have fun. Let's
for
do
sure.
this. But there were guys down there for sure that were, this is my show. You don't overstep. You stay back. But yeah, I mean, I thought, I mean, and again, I was always from day one such a huge fan. So it was always fun to get to do that. Chris, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was asking her, does she, given that she's signed now and it's her show, does she have someone running the tip bucket for her now? Or how does that?
I
So
damn sure hope so.
I don't. I still kind of do it. I have a guy that plays guitar in my band, like the 80s, like, it looks like the Jetsons kind of thing, which is so fun. But he will take, because he's mobile, he'll take a bucket out. Normally I'll get on the bar. There's like a bar, if you've never been in Whiskey Row, it's in the middle of the bar. The bar is in the middle of the room. So I can walk around the bar and not like actually have to go face to face, like, do you want to tip the do you want to tip the band? Which was also like, it's so loud in there. That's half the reason I would lose my voice half the time, was just screaming at people to tip the band. So it's a lot easier now. We have giant 5 gallon buckets that say band tips, and people, yeah, it's a lot less than I used to have to do.
Gotcha.
It is super impressive that you're still doing Broadway though, because I mean that's an option, right? Like it's a lot of fun. You can make a lot of money and it's a great place to kind of hone your chops. But a lot of times, number one, labels won't let artists continue to work down there because it does blow out your voice. I can
Mhm.
tell you for sure, 100%. And number two, there's just for a long time, and maybe it's different now. I don't know because I've not been on Broadway in 5, 6 years now. I guess it's been a long time. We did the touring thing for the past, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, but there was for a long time kind of the stigma around Broadway in the record industry side
It
of
is
things.
really wild. Music Row and Broadway are, I mean, you could realistically like walk I mean, they're so close geographically, but when it comes to the music industry, they could not be more separate. Like labels do not come downtown and look for artists. They don't. They're two different things. So it is kind of surprising. They want me to keep playing. I think that they are starting to see that like maybe it could be kind of beneficial. I think that they need to go down there and see what people are requesting. I think that that's like such good like information for them to know. Like who if you're paying $20 for a song, you really want to hear it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But yeah, they are very, very, very separate.
Wow, that's interesting because most of your up and coming talent, if I'm listening correctly, is on Broadway, right? Like, so if the labels are not going to Broadway to
So you're
recruit
saying
new
it's hard to
talent,
get noticed, is
then
your
how do you
point.
get noticed? Yeah.
It's all networking. It's like it really is like a small town. It's like a little high school kind of where you like just gotta kind of find the right people, come up with the right people. I mean, it's networking, it's luck, it's just right place, right time. But yeah, I thought for sure moving to Nashville, and I knew this, but I like knew that Broadway was somewhere that you could get stuck, and I knew that I was never going to get discovered down there. And damn if I didn't, but I did.
But I mean, I tell kids all the time. I say kids, people new to Nashville or people moving to Nashville, like Broadway is such a great tool.
Absolutely.
Because the musicians that are down there are so good, predominantly, and it's different now. I think because like when we moved to town, like we were saying, there were like 10 bars, so there are like 10 stages, so you had to be good to get a shift. Like,
For sure.
and if you got a shift, every musician in town, every guitar player, every drummer, every bass player was calling you. I mean, you had guys who were on the biggest tours. I mean, you would have Toby Keith's guys, you would have George Strait's guys, you'd have Tim McGraw's guys. Like when tour was over, if you had a shift, all those guys were calling you going, "Hey, if you need a guy, if you need a guy, you let me know. You let me know." And because there were only so many gigs to be had back then, and so it went from, I think when we moved to town, there were probably maybe 20 shows a day, maybe a little more than that. So, I mean, you think there were 10 bars, they do 4 hour shifts for 4 times a day. Um, but whatever that math is, Rick, you're much better at math than
Well,
me.
and now
But
people are playing in Taco Bells down
yeah,
there.
I
It's
mean, literally,
ridiculous.
there's
It's ridiculous.
there's a little over, somebody told me there's a little over 2,000 stages down there now
Oh,
between
Jesus.
smokes.
between Broadway and the off streets right there by them. So second, third, fourth, fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Golly.
Wow.
but so
Playing at
now,
the Taco Bell.
yeah,
There.
there's a
Swear to
Taco
God,
Bell
Chris.
Cantina.
Gina,
Yeah.
Swear to
I
God. That's it.
Um, but and in fairness, like Nashville, you could walk into any place in Nashville and there's probably live music
Yes.
or outside, like in the metro area.
Yeah.
But you had to be really good back then to get a gig. And now it feels a lot more like, and I'm not trying to talk down about anybody, but they're a lot more, they're just trying to fill a stage and they're just
Yeah.
trying. So there's, it felt
So just say
like
the talent's not as good
It
as
felt
it
more
was.
special back
there,
then. Is what you're saying.
there are definitely still talented people
Yeah.
down there, but you got to look for them a lot
Yeah, but
more
how do you
than you
separate
used
them?
to.
I got you.
Yeah.
I
Um,
get that.
And but what I was saying is like I would tell kids all the time, like go to Broadway, learn your chops because you're going to work with some of the best musicians you'll ever work with in your life. You're going you're going to network and you're going to meet a ton of people. And you're going to kind of find your crowd and you're gonna learn how to become a performer because you have to. Because if you don't, you will not make it. You will not live because your livelihood depends on how much money people put in that bucket. And if you don't perform, you're not making a living, especially in Nashville because it's expensive
Expensive.
to
Yeah.
live in Nashville.
Oh my God.
And the other thing was the like the opportunities that you made, like while I mean, like you say, they're not coming down there looking for people to sign to record deals, but like I met investors down there, like people who sank hundreds of thousands of dollars into my career. And I mean, it didn't really work out for them or me, but
It's worked out for Chris and I.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
you're just
Thank
stuck
you.
with me now.
Thank you.
Um, but and again, those investors led to the talks with the record companies. And because end of the day, it's a business and it's all about money. But I tell them to go down there because you can make, at least you could, I don't know how it is now, and you can speak to this, but you can make a lot of money really fast down there.
It is like the money on Broadway is better than I've ever. Well, I guess like right after the pandemic, it was like crazy money because everybody had those stimulus checks that they were spending left and right. But it is so good. It's to the point where like it's hard to find people that want to go on the road as an artist that wants to tour because
Wow.
a travel day is a travel day, a show day, another travel day. That's 3 days where you're really only getting paid one show day, maybe per diem for the other two. Whereas on Broadway, you could play 4 shifts a day and make $2,000.
Yeah,
Easy,
that's
easily.
I lost my band after the pandemic because of that. They're like, man, I love you, but you can't pay me enough to go back on the road with you
Yeah,
because
and
I
they
could,
sleep in their own bed.
yeah, I
Like,
can sleep in my
yeah,
own bed and I
Yeah.
can make 5 times the money playing downtown as I
yeah.
can with you.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
It's interesting.
really, and
Yeah.
you had, I mean,
Very.
dude, I had friends who had A-list artist gigs who had been with these A-list artists for years that were going, I'm going to quit my artist gig because I can make more money and stay at home just playing Broadway.
Yeah, Taylor Swift's guitar player, which she's had the same band forever. So he's played with her forever. He still plays on Broadway when he's not on the road with her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
uh, but what I tell these kids is take that money that you make there and put that into your career.
Mhm.
Use that to fund your career. Use that to get in the studio. Use that to hire a vocal coach. Use that to hire, a guitar teacher. Use that to whatever to fund tours. Use that to fund the ability to write songs. And I mean, when I lived in Nashville full time, I mean, I would write 3 times a day, and typically like Nashville starts a little later because people go to bed a little later. But I would write at 10, I would write at 2, I would write at 6, and then I would go play a show at 10 o'clock at night. And but yeah, I just take what you get down there and apply that to your music career.
Yeah, I've always said that Broadway can be so helpful. Broadway is great as long as you are using it and it is not using you.
100%.
Mm.
Because you and I both too saw, I can think of so many people who, when we first moved to town, incredible talents, but it's also really easy to get sucked in to the party life of Broadway because everybody wants to buy you a drink.
Uh-huh.
Everybody wants to give you some kind of fun substance. Everybody wants to take you back to their place and show you a good time. And there were so many people who got sucked into that because they thought this is the life. This is and
Mhm.
who could have had monster careers. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's a different rant.
That's a
So
different soapbox, Chris,
The big time.
for our guy.
Yeah.
so tell us about some of these songs. Tell us about Live Fast, Die Pretty, because Rick brought that one up, and I know he's dying to know about
Yes.
that.
Live Fast Die Pretty was the first single I put out. I love it so much. I
Wow.
we wrote it. I wanted something that was fun to play downtown, fun to like open shows with, kick the doors down right out the gate. I just love it. I think it's a good fun girl anthem, but also boy anthem if you want to live fast and die pretty, you know? I just love
And
it.
if
Come on, give us
listen,
some
if
flow, Rick.
no, if you're into girls, right, that are kind of modeled or typified in that song, the song is fun, edgy, raucous, And that was going to be one of my questions because usually Chad gives me this little area. Oh, Rick, I know you got questions. You've been so quiet.
You are the most patient of all the hosts. You will wait and just wait.
I will, because I take notes over here. And you said that you put out 7 songs since January. So one of my questions was going to be, what was your favorite? And before you answer the question, I love that song. Like, I listen to it 3-4 times as I'm moving around the gym there. However, I also was gonna make a joke about Chad and say that you're just a shadow of a cowboy and a real one would stay. And that was gonna be my little joke.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm gonna tell you this: you sound so different between those 2 songs,
Yeah.
and I hope you don't get mad at me, but like I loved both of them, but you sound like Carrie Underwood on the Cowboy song.
Thank
It was
you.
almost a little like I was closing my eyes. I'm like, God, is this just me trying to make this happen, or did like it's really you sound very different on those 2 songs. So I'll stop talking. You tell me what you think.
Thank you. No, I mean, like I was saying earlier, this group of songs was definitely like throwing darts, like seeing what stuck, what I like to play out, what worked with people. Because I have sang a bunch of different, I mean, at our gigs, I play AC/DC and then I play Patsy Cline. Like, I mean, it is all over the board.
Yeah.
I love them all for different reasons. I love Live Fast, Die Pretty. I think it's a fun show song, but Shadow of a Cowboy has always been like the one I was looking
It
for.
hits more seriously.
I think it's sonically the most me.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, Dollars, the one I just released recently, is obviously very, very, very close to my heart. It's about my family and it's super sweet. And that one like makes me cry when I sing it. So I love that one too. But I think if I'm looking to have one be like my Northern Star that we're going towards, that I think like it would be Shadow of a Cowboy.
Really? Cool.
I think so.
Glad I listened to that one.
I love Dollars. That's your latest single you just put out.
Yeah.
And you got on the giant billboard in Nashville.
Yeah, I did. It was fun.
Tell folks about that billboard.
So it's called the Nashville sign, and it's digital, so it changes. I think it's every 9 seconds, and you can pay to get on it through the Nashville sign, but it is very expensive. And there was this guy that is like coming in and he's like contracting it out. I don't know. I don't really understand completely everything he does, but he reached out to me and asked if I would be willing to like send him some artwork. He wanted to put me on the sign. So instead of me paying to be on it for 9 seconds, he ended up putting me on in rotation 9 seconds at a time, but it was up for like an hour and a half, which was awesome. His brand is called The Public Board, and he really wants to, I guess the National Sign hired him. But so he has access to it, but he wants anyone and everyone to like put their stuff up. He wants, if it's your best friend's birthday, you can put that up. If it's your business, you can put that up. If you just have like an encouraging message for the world, you can put that up. And so I think what he's doing is really cool, but I was the first artist slash influencer slash whatever that he's ever worked with in Nashville. So I was the first one that he's done that for. It was
Congrats on that
really
being
fun.
P1.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a really fun experience.
Cool.
And it's really become one of those things like it's one of those like made it moments on that sign, like
For sure.
because so many people like it became really iconic really fast because it's still a relatively new sign. I would say probably 5-6 years.
Yeah,
maybe?
I think so. And it's right in the middle of downtown. Like if you've driven on Broadway and you go like on the opposite way of the river, like Broadway splits and it's right at that split. Like it's right at the head of Broadway.
Yeah, it's like a little Times Square thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind of it. Yeah. It's cool.
Super cool.
Very fun.
Chris, did you have more questions?
No, listen, she's answered a lot just in conversation. She cleared the deal right there, buddy.
Rick's looking at his notes.
I have more.
Come on,
if you
Rick.
have time.
Come on.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Come on. If you got time, I got more. So I want to know today, if I asked you, because I love that story about Keith Urban and getting a break, do you have any idea what would your answer be as to why your phone rang?
Oh man.
Good question.
Because I think it's so cool. And it's just like,
No,
listen, I waited for like NASCAR teams to call me. The phone never rang for fuck's sake. I mean, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I mean it was definitely a God thing for sure, but I I do take pride in the connection that I make with music. I
Okay.
think that I'm good at like connecting and having other people connect with that. I think that that is my superpower. I think it's not
Hmm.
just my voice, but like the way I feel like I can move people with my voice, and I think that translated. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I hope that's why.
That's cool.
no,
That's
that's
Well,
cool.
badass.
well, your
Chad,
ability.
my last question is going to
Okay.
be, you're going to make fun of me now.
No, go
So
ahead.
I want to know, I happen to be into girls' fashion and like what they wear, and I
Oh,
think it's cool. And that's why I kind of like some of the painted lips and the blonde hair and the high heels from,
yeah.
yeah, it's cool, right? So tell me about this TikTok thing, and
That's-
let's pretend I'm on TikTok, which I'm not. How do I help Kaylee Green get dressed? What did you do? Like, what? I don't understand how that happened. You lay out a bunch of outfits and point at them, like, and Chad,
Yeah.
stop laughing. I don't know what to do
No,
here.
I literally was going this same direction because
I don't know.
I
Like,
was
I want.
no, I was about to say with her connection, like not only does she connect to people through music, but people are just drawn to her kind of no matter what she does. But her TikTok is proof of that because she's not even singing on TikTok and people flock to her. And they're literally now like you can scroll through TikTok and there are other girls in Nashville who are trying to mimic
Emulate.
what she does.
Mm.
But because she did it so well and she connected with so many people. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think it's so
tell them about it.
cool. Like, what
Yeah.
if I say, what should I wear to Daytona or what should I wear to Darlington this weekend? And like,
Yeah.
nobody TikToks me. I'm like,
Do it. Oh my gosh. Throw up your outfit check.
get
I love
out of here. Come on, tell
um
me, what's the answer?
I keep trying to get him to do
What's the
like
answer?
we got
Stop,
these
Chad. Stop. Let
cameras.
her
I'm like,
talk.
do a day in a life.
Let her talk.
they're
Let's see.
amazing.
How can I help you get dressed? How does this work?
It was an accident, honestly. I was going to play a gig at Legends and I just was like, "Hey, I'm Kaylee. I'm a singer in Nashville and I
Hi,
don't know what to wear."
friends.
Like, yeah. I had a white tank top and I had these like daisy bell bottoms and I like tried on a few different pairs of jeans with my shirt and a few different shirts with my jeans and just settled on an outfit and was like, "Okay, I gotta go. Like, this is what I'm wearing." And then I was halfway through my gig and I just happened to look because I was bored and it had 10,000 views. And I was like, what is this? Like, what?
Come
And everybody
on.
had opinions about which clothes
Wow.
I wore.
Bro,
They
we
loved it or
Come
hated it. And
on.
like, it was crazy. And so I was like, let's do this again. But there was no thought out process behind any of it. I'd seen people do like get ready with me's or like they would talk while they did their makeup or whatever, like give life updates. I was a big YouTube watcher in high school, so I like watched stuff like this, but it was not an intentional thing. I didn't really like mean for that to be my brand, but it worked and I loved it. And then I had brands that wanted to send me clothes for me to like show on my
That's cool.
That's
That's very
cool.
cool.
I had a brand that put out a whole Kaylee Green Nashville line and
No way.
they came to Nashville. We took photos. I got to help like pick some of the stuff, and yeah, it was a wild time. And I still do a little bit of that, but it's been so interesting because I gained all these people through fashion and makeup and hair videos to now try to get those people to like also be like, "Hey, I'm a singer too. Do you want to listen to my songs?" And like it's been
Yeah,
a,
yeah, yeah.
a battle trying to fight the algorithm and get people to even see the music content. So marrying the two things because I do love it. I mean, I did video production in high school and middle school. I love making content and
Mhm.
but trying to do a little bit of both has been interesting, but it's been so much fun.
And it's really hard once you're kind of pigeonholed for one thing, I will say, because like and Kaylee and I talked about this because we started like we both started kind of going viral at the same time for completely different things. Mine wasn't get ready with me or pick my
It was the
outfit.
Alabama stuff,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not helping pick your outfit, Chad. I have no
Absolutely
interest.
not. You are on your
Just
own.
I'm on record right there. No interest.
Yeah, so I had this the thing same thing happened to me. This by accident, I started doing this strange things in Alabama thing that took off. So like Kaylee at like you were probably at I don't, you were already trending when I started to take off. And then she skyrocketed. And I mean, I maxed out at like 70,000 followers and she got like 300,000 more than that. So,
Well, I mean, to keep everything helped a lot with the following for
yeah,
sure.
but it's also so weird. Like, and you have mixed feelings about it, right? Because I'm like, I go places in Alabama now and I walk around and I'm like, I spent I spent over a decade making music, putting out music. Like I got to have a couple songs on the radio. I got to be in People magazine. Like I got to do all these things with music that I worked so hard at. And I walk into places and people are like, "Hey, you're the Strange Things in Alabama guy." And I'm like, I was sitting at um, I did a celebrity event in Nashville. We've talked about this the same when I met Stephanie. Like, so I did this celebrity event and we're like sitting in the bar afterwards and just hanging out of this hotel in downtown Nashville. And I'm talking to this girl who she had sang the anthem at the Preds game that night, but she was an actress and she was on like Stranger Things and she was on like all
Oh,
these different shows. She did the Waltons, all this stuff. And so we like sat there talking for a while. And I'm like, by the way, my name's Chad. It's really nice to meet you. And she's like, I actually know who you are because I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and I see all your Alabama stuff on TikTok. And I was
no
like, oh my
way.
God. I was like, it's, and again, like I love that. I love what I've created with that
Yeah.
brand, but it's such a weird thing. And I would love to know like how you feel about it. I mean, like you embrace it because it's cool and you connected to these people on this level that nobody else can do that. I
Yeah.
mean, people try to do what you do and people have tried to do what I did,
Mhm.
but also it's like it's not my main thing. It's like not
Right.
what I work.
I
So like
know.
I fell into it by accident.
I did too. I feel the same way. I mean, mine was always like, I'm getting ready for my gig. But I had a girl come up to me, bless her heart. She didn't mean anything by it. She was so sweet. But she came to my gig and was like, "Oh my God, I just think about you as like my fashion girly. I forget that you're a singer." And I was like, "Ah,
Yeah.
oh no."
Somewhere there was a compliment in there, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and it's strange because like I still like probably I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, like I had a TV station in Alabama reach out to me. I had a radio station reach out, like all these places, like these festivals that I wanted to play so badly in Alabama, and I'm from there. And they they're like, "Hey, will you come make an appearance with
Ah,
your Strange Things in Alabama thing? Like, will you come talk about
yeah.
strange things in Alabama?" And I'm like,
It's so
"Sure." Like,
You're like,
difficult,
I'd
man.
like to
And
come
it's like,
sing.
it's one of those things where like you want to take the opportunity and it comes so much easier, but you're like, but what about this?
Yeah,
Like
but
I
I'm a
want to do this.
singer.
right. Like
Right.
it, or they want me to come introduce the musical guest
Oh,
who is like oftentimes somebody who's at the start of trying to do what
yeah.
I did for so long.
Yeah, 10% of what you've already done. Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's so hard. I don't know if it is for you, but like when I go to shows, when I go to a concert, like I talk about this with Jessica all the time. Like I see a concert much differently than she does. Like I'm watching and listening for so many different things.
Same.
Like, and you just like you have like you're like I'm supposed to be the one up there singing.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
know.
so weird to do it to be in the crowd and watch somebody else. And I love concerts still.
Somebody's in his driver's seat, Chris, to put it
Somebody's
Yes.
in
driving.
to put
Yeah.
it to
Somebody
put
has
it
the
in our
wheel.
racer speak,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Somebody has the
Somebody's
wheel.
in the race car that he should be driving. That
Yeah, he's
hurts.
watching it go by lap
That
after lap.
hurts. I get that, Chad.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially like because again in Nashville, it's a small town, it's a small community. So like you probably know somebody who's in the band at least. Like one of those guys probably played for me at one point, or and you're like, that's I mean, there's been times it's been my entire band up there with somebody else singing. And I'm like, this is weird. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
and it's especially when it's everything you ever dreamed of. Like, and I moved to Nashville to be a songwriter. All I ever wanted to do was be a songwriter. And the artist thing happened and I loved it. And I loved it. But yeah, still, if I had my choice today, I would just write songs for people to sing, for Kayley Green to sing, but she won't record my stuff.
Well, you got that one. You guys
You
got
the
that
one.
one.
You got the
I'm
one.
trying.
Yeah. I think we've written a few times, but that was definitely like the best one of the ones we've written. So
For sure.
we need to break that out. Maybe I'll put that work tape in here.
You gotta
That
get in
work
the lab
tape's
tag.
so bad.
It's so bad.
Like it was also like I just got into like trying to record my own stuff and track my own stuff. And like we were set up at her friend's house. And so I'm like, got my headphones on my laptop and I'm trying to record. I'm like, was not good at it, but we made it work. So so what are plans coming up? Do you have are you gonna keep doing the residency thing? Do you have a tour? Do you have any of
I
that?
just hired new management, which has been like a real struggle the whole time. But the plan is to get on the road somehow, whether basically all the tours, everything books out so early. So like all the tours are pretty much booked until like really like next spring.
Mm.
So we'll see if there's any opening slots for the end of the year. Maybe I can weasel my way onto a stage or two, but we're talking about maybe doing like a small tour of my own, maybe one or two other artists, and kind of like not doing the Broadway thing, but like taking that energy on the road and like
Yeah.
going and doing that. Basically we'd have one band that played with probably all of the artists to keep costs low and probably only to like driving distances.
Yeah, I
But
did that.
than that, yeah.
I did that a few years ago when we did a big tour with Brent Stover
Yeah.
from CBS. And so like he came out and like he used my band and
Yeah.
so it made transitions work really well. It saved money. You're not spending as much on the band, on travel, on all that stuff. It definitely is a cool way to do it. But I
Yeah.
love that idea of taking that Broadway vibe on the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah, a little cover, a little original, just like the energy of it all. And like I've got to figure out a way to marry the fact that I am a Broadway singer and also an artist and also an influencer and also an artist. So like somehow, some way, putting forth an image that is kind of a little bit of everything. And
Maybe after this, you can get on and do the pre-race show at one of our events.
Damn you,
I
Justice.
What?
would
Damn you.
love to. Sign me up. I went to a NASCAR event, like a NASCAR race last year. I went to the Nashville one, and it was so much fun. Oh my gosh, I had a ball. I also drove my car in high school on the Darlington racetrack.
Oh,
That's
That's
awesome.
legit. So, Chad, here's my thing.
All right,
I was
give
just
me
going to
your
say
thing,
this.
Ricky.
Justice steals my thunder, but this happens all the time. So, in Daytona, and Justice apparently doesn't work NASCAR races anymore. But anyway, Gretchen Wilson played in Daytona.
Right.
And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I heard the whole thing. I'm working on pit road, getting stuff ready. Why wouldn't Kayley Green, local, playing at Darlington, or even singing the national anthem at Darlington?
hometown, bring her back.
Can't her new management connect those dots? Like, it seems simple to me,
hint,
but
hint.
Well, I think we should
Phone calls.
definitely connect her with the NASCAR experience. I mean,
Absolutely.
easily.
they
That's
they
what I'm
hired
saying.
they hired me to play. They would definitely hire her. So I got to do that last year in Chicago. So they raced through the streets of Chicago, and so they had me play before the Xfinity race on the NASCAR experience stage. So they have this stage that they take to all the NASCAR tracks, and they do they'll have like artists on it who play songs. They'll also like have the drivers come out. Sometimes they have different podcasts do a live podcast from one that may or may not be happening.
Jeez, look at you.
Yeah.
But
Plugging the upcoming. Just quit
Well,
it.
Yeah.
well, we
upcoming.
we
Shameless.
can't even announce that
That
one
was
yet.
shameless.
But anyways, but yeah, we
Allegedly.
should definitely connect you there because you could kill it,
Right?
especially Darlington. Especially
Of
Darlington.
course, Darlington. And then we take it one step further. And if I go to my boy Todd Scholes, she's in the pace car. And he may never let her out, but that's her problem to deal with. But, I mean, it just seems like these are boxes that should be checked.
Yeah, all this.
Automatic checks.
Rick, you work your last month left of Sony connections for Kayley here, and
She's got new management. I don't have no say so.
well,
Oh,
I mean, her
Management has
label,
nothing but Sony, yeah.
her label's still Sony.
That's right.
That's a completely different thing. It's a new set of people you have to pay. It's
Yeah.
they get their percentage.
Another piece of the pie.
Yeah, and that's the other we were talking about touring, and we'll wrap this up and let you go soon. But a hard part of touring is the expenses, right? And especially the more hands that I mean, I was touring as an independent artist, so I had no support from a label, but I also did not have a label taking a percentage of what I was doing. And a lot of times, when you get into Kayley's situation where she's kind of in that middle ground of she doesn't quite have radio hits yet, but she has a deal. But she's still having to pay management, a booking agent, the label, like all these people are getting their percentage off the top. She's got to pay the band, she's got to pay travel, she's got to pay hotels, she's got to pay all that per diem, all that stuff. Somebody, if you're you either got to rent a van or a bus and it gets expensive quick.
For sure.
So
Catch 22. Can't really do it without it. You can't really do it with it. Like it's really hard.
Yeah, it is really, really hard to make money on a tour unless you can sell a lot of merch.
Yeah, the t-shirt saved the music industry.
But well, Kayley, if you happen to make it to Darlington this weekend, the three of us will be hanging out in Darlington. Tell your friends,
Sunday,
your family.
right?
Yes, the cup race is Sunday.
And it's late. It's late Sunday because it's the Southern
really?
500. So it's like
this is a crown jewel event.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
like
6:30,
five,
six something.
5:30,
This actually could
6:30.
happen because I am going to South Carolina this weekend. I'm going on a boat trip, but I'll be coming back Sunday from Charleston. So I'll be back in plenty of time because we're going to leave early. But I am going to be in South Carolina this weekend. So
Well, send me a text and we'll try to.
Yeah, just let her.
I mean, I'm riding with
let us
Rick,
know.
so
Let us know.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
We'll VIP
And,
her if she wants to, Chad.
yeah. So we're also I'll be there working with Bush Light handling Kip Moore's show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Kip Moore's doing the VIP. Well, he's doing the at track performance.
Yeah, the Bush Light concert series. Yeah.
Yes, and
Aw.
yeah, so I'll be there with Bush Light, and that's exciting. But Rick will be there with his team at Haas. Chris will be there with his team at Hendrick, and yeah,
His team's better and faster, but that's okay.
Well, they got a lot of money.
They got a lot more
I
money.
have a friend. It's my best friend from Nashville. Her best friend from her childhood, Natalie Decker. Isn't she on that team?
She's Xfinity.
Interesting.
Xfinity driver.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but she doesn't run a full schedule. She ran last week in Daytona.
Yeah,
But,
she just had a baby recently.
hmm
So.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't.
Eight
Wow.
month. The baby's 8 months old, I think. Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
moly.
Oh, wow.
Cute, chunky. He's so cute.
Yeah, that was her.
I guess
first
that's why she was
Daytona.
on the race car for a while, because that's not conducive to like a 6-point harness up over your stomach.
Yeah, that's pretty bad if you do
Lord.
that.
Yeah, so that was her first race back after having the baby, Daytona last week.
Got it.
Wow, got it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
But,
super fan.
Kaylee, thanks so much for
Oh,
coming
thank you
on.
so
It's
much.
so
Yeah,
good
it's been
to
a
catch
pleasure.
up with
Thank
you.
you.
Well, thank you guys.
We got to get together, write some more songs.
Congrats on your
absolutely.
deal.
Yes. Congrats
Record
on all
that
the
song for
success.
Chad.
Yeah.
I hope
Tell-
some
tell-
of your followers
Tell
like,
your TikTok
find this
followers.
find this
we have
podcast, and so we know how appreciative we are
we
of
ha-
you coming on.
we have about 17 followers on our
Yeah.
on
I
our.
thought we had 100. Didn't we get 100?
That's a
we going
different platform.
backwards?
That's a different platform.
Oh, okay.
We're still new to
Add them
TikTok,
all up
but
so the number feels better.
I
You just
don't
add
know
all.
what it is.
well, that's what I always tell people. I'm always like, I have about 250,000 followers across all my platforms. And I'm still not Kayley Green just on her one. I add all mine up and I'm still not close to Kaylee's number.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Kaylee, thank you so much.
Yep.
I appreciate it. This has been such a fun catch up. And thanks for doing this. Kaylee Green on Checkers Records. What the heckers?
Thanks.